Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Josh, and as the title of the video suggests, today we're going to be looking at replacing a spoke on a wheel. So if anything like this has ever happened to you, or maybe you don't cut your own spoke and you break it while riding or something, you're going to need to replace the spoke. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. The first thing we're going to need is our truing stand. If you don't have a truing stand, you can sometimes do this in the back of the bike if you flip the bike over. It makes it hard to really dial in how true the wheel is going to be, but in a pinch that would definitely work. Before we proceed with removing the broken spoke and installing a new spoke, we've got to make sure that we have full access to the hub flanges. So if you've got a rotor or a cassette on there, depending on whether it's a front wheel, a back wheel, a rim brake bike, or a disc brake bike, we're going to make sure that we have full access to that first. So you can check out our cassette video up top here for instructions on how to remove a cassette. And for the rotor, depending on whether it's a 6-bolt or a center lock, you're just going to use a T25 or a cassette lock ring tool or a bottom bracket tool. And just unthread that, pop it off, and then we'll have full access for the spokes. Now that we've taken all that excess junk off of our wheel, we're ready to get right into it with the spokes. So I'm just going to remove this little broken bit, and then we grab our spoke ruler, and I'm just going to measure from the spoke hole where my missing spoke is to the hole down here. And we do want to go through the rim bed, so I'm going to line it up on the rim bed about 2 millimeters past the surface. So this spoke is about 294. Now that we've got our spoke, we're going to be ready to install it. So I'm just going to go on ahead and push this through here. And obviously you want to pay attention that you've got your inner and outer spokes lined up, so make sure you put that in the correct way. And then you can kind of follow the lacing pattern here, so you see that it goes over the first one and then under the second one. I'm just going to move my spoke around here, to being careful not to bend it too much. So I get the lacing correct, and then I'll just tuck that right up into the hole. And there we go. We are bang on the money with our length. And now we're ready to put in the nipple. You can spin it with your fingers, or if you have a nipple driver, these also work great. So next we're going to add tension to the spoke. So obviously we can't do that just with our thumbs, so we're going to grab a spoke key, and then I'm going to bring the tension up here until it's approximately the same as the neighboring spokes. So aside from squeezing the spoke, the other method you can use to sort of feel out the tension without using an actual tensiometer would be to pluck them and listen. Now we're just going to fine tune the true on the wheel. So I like to do this by listening for the sound of the rims scratching up against these arms. By tightening a spoke that comes in from the left side of the wheel, it's going to pull the rim a little bit to the left side. And by tightening from a spoke from the right side, it pulls it over the right side. And loosening, of course, the opposite would happen. So I'm just here kind of playing with the tension a little bit, doing very small increments. We don't want to make any large adjustments while we do this, so we just use small movements. With that, we're going to call this wheel done. It was pretty banged up when we started, so I'm happy with how much improvement the wheel has now from before. Stay tuned in the future for a more in-depth video on how to true a wheel. I know this was kind of a speed run that wasn't super detailed, but in the future we're going to do a bit of a more in-depth video on that. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.